you another project. You'll notice that it's different. We're not doing a wreath today. We're going to do something completely different. We're going to do some things that we have tons of these on my website under atexasky.com, and I'm talking about wood signs, creating a wood sign with a vinyl cutout or a stencil if you're, able to get a stencil on there and it looks good. I've tried doing a stencil and it looked terrible. I ended up painting over the whole thing and putting a vinyl cutout on it. I want to wish you a Happy New Year if you're watching this after we've recorded it. It is a new year, 2018, which is crazy. It is freezing in Texas. Under our Texas sky, we've got about 25-degree temperature, and that is unusual for us. If you know anything about Texas, we generally like to keep our winters in the 40s and 50s, so we're freezing a little bit here. But today I am bringing you the technique that we use to make a wood cutout sign. And it's going to basically be like this sign. This is a sign that we've used for a couple of years for Christmas. On this particular sign, I did a crackle finish, and you can see it's weathered. I mean, it really has weathered over the last couple of years. This year we had a really big storm come through, super windy. It knocked our signpost over, and this sign went crashing down, so it is really distressed. It's even more distressed than what it was. But we're going to show you how to make this. This particular sign is made from 3 boards, and it's hard to tell, but there are 3 boards back here that are joined by a strip of what, mean man?
Plywood.
Plywood. Strip of plywood that's holding them together.
We'll use 1x4 or a 1x piece today.
Okay, so we'll use a 1x piece to do this. Now, the mean man also used a Kreg Jig to do these, I don't know what these are called. Do you know what these are called?
Pocket screws.
Pocket screws. And so that just tightens everything together, but you don't have to have a Kreg Jig. You don't have to put pocket screws. It'll be a little bit more rustic because it'll be more like where you can tell there are 3 boards, which is super popular today. They're everywhere. If you don't have access to a saw and wood supplies and things like that, I was going to tell you, you can buy blanks. Where's that blank that I was going to show them? I pulled a blank for y'all that I bought at Walmart. Here it is. Sorry, I bought this at Walmart. And you can see, I would imagine this is some kind of an MDF or something like that. But you can buy the blanks already made. And I just purchased this at Walmart. I picked them up because they were on clearance for like $1 a piece, so I bought several of them. This is ready to go. It is ready to stain or ready to paint, whatever you'd like to do. It's got a routed edge, which you can see. Can they see that, mean man? Where this edge is routed. But I mean, we bought it like this. Now we are going to, on our piece, the mean man's going to route it for us also. I don't know if you can really tell on this piece that he also, after he put all of the boards together, he went around and routed the edge to give it this nice decorative edge. You don't even have to have that though. It doesn't have to have a decorative edge. It can be just a square sign and it still turns out really, really nice. I've already done my vinyl cutout, and I'll pause just a second and show you how I came to the vinyl cutout. What I did was I asked him how big this other sign was. And then when I created my design, I kind of kept to those parameters. I think with just the letters, I have about 14.5 by about 10.5. So it's 14.5 across, 10.5 inches up and down. And so we're going to make our sign according to those dimensions. And I think we're really just about ready. This is super simple. I'm going to have him pause that camera, and then I'm going to get on the other side of the camera. The mean man's going to take over. Don't be afraid of saws. I mean, I could do it, but I don't have to. I've got someone who is a great helper, and I'm perfectly happy to let him help me with this aspect of what I'm doing. So I'm going to ask him to pause that. I'm going to come around, trade places with him, and we'll be right back. Okay, now the mean man is about to make our cuts for us. What do we have here?
This is a 1x6 whitewood pine.
A 1x6 whitewood pine, which as he's explained it to me, means that it's 6 inches wide and 1 inch thick, but not really, because they don't actually come that size. What size is this really?
When you buy a wood, you have to understand that it's not as it's not the size that it says it is. So a 1x6 is actually 3/4 of an inch thick and 5.5 inches wide.
Okay, so just know that when you buy, if you're buying your own wood, you buy a 1x6, it's really only about 5.5 inches by 3/4 inches. And so, and be mindful, like I said, when you're putting your board together, we're using 3 different boards. Basically, we had to think about it, how deep, the length, or what's this measurement? The height that we wanted our sign. I want my lettering goes about 14.5 inches, and I want clearance on the top and bottom. And then remember, he's going to route the edge, so I'm going to lose some of this edge all the way around the sign. So he figured 2 of these 5.5 inch boards, and then 1.
It's actually about 1x4, but it's actually only 3.5 inches wide. That's as you buy it. They only come 3.5 inches, but it's called a 1x4, and it's 3/4 of an inch thick.
Okay, so we're going to have 5.5, 5.5, and 3.5, and that's going to give us plenty of depth for the vinyl lettering that we have. So just know that. He's going to use his miter saw. He'll make his measurement, and that's how long the sign is. Remembering that we have that routed edge on the the routed edge on the outside. So my letters go, what do we say, 14.5 inches long. So he's going to make it.
We're going to go 17. We're going to make the width 17 inches to accommodate the lettering in the middle, because we're going to lose 3/8 of an inch all the way around once we route it. So when you take 3/8 of an inch here and 3/8 of an inch here, well, that lessens your mounting space.
And we want to have some space around the lettering. We don't want the letters to go wall to wall. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to go ahead and take that measurement and make the cut with the chop saw or miter saw.
Go 17 inches. Make sure we get a true cut. 17. And then if you're cutting with a chop saw, one thing to think about is the blades, the teeth, go left, right, left, right. So when you're pulling down, especially if you want a really close, precise cut, you want to make sure that you get the teeth that point to the right if you're going to line your blade up on the left-hand side of the line, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So when you get it over here, so you want to put it where the teeth that points out is right on the line, and that gives you your exact measurement there. So there's one, and we're going to pull another one to go 17.
And we're using pine. This is kind of a white pine, so you may want to be aware when you're making your cuts for your sign, if there's a great big knot hole in the middle of it, you might want to use another part of the board, unless you're going rustic, and then that's fine. So this is another 17-inch cut.
So then we're going to come over here to our 1x4, and then make sure we got a square edge, which we do. Then we're going to pull it 17.
And if you're buying boards, when you buy them, kind of hold it up and look, kind of down the board, and make sure you don't have one that's really warped, or that you have enough of it that's not warped, that it's worth making that purchase. Because you want everything to fit together.
If you're making signs, you want to make sure you get as flat as wood as you can. You're going to see some wood that'll be cupped. It'll be cupped like this. Instead of being flat, it'll be cupped, or it can be warped, or it can be twisted, and those will not make very good signs.
So we're back, and he's talking about the strips of wood that are going to join the 3 pieces together. They're basically the same stock. They're white pine, and how wide are they? Is that a 1x2?
Yeah, this is this is basically what I use. I always save all my scraps because you never know what you're going to need them for or whatever. And this is basically scraps from another project, and they're 2 inches wide, which the width is really inconsequential unless you make it as wide as you want. But one thing to think about is when you're going to put hangers on the back, and hangers you buy will have a metal clip that you'll put 2 screws in. Clip will go here, you'll screw it in, and it'll have a hook at the top. So from past experience, knowing that you're going to need some distance at the top, we know that we need to make these 12 inches. So we're going to cut them 12 inches, and that way
see what he's talking about here. See how far down this came? It was really longer than our wood. Luckily, we needed this there for the porch sign holder that we have. But you can run into a problem if you're going to put your hangers there. You're not going to have room for it. So just be sure to make room for your hangers if you're going to hang it like that.
Right.
And we're going to just show you briefly how that's done. This is not going to be a tutorial on how to use the Kreg Jig per se, but he's going to show you how it's done because we have to do it. And so
yeah, you want to set the stock of your wood, the thickness. You'll set back here on the gauge, 3/4 here because it's 3/4 wood. Then you set it here. And we're going to do one here, one in the middle, and one on this end. And then we'll do another one here. And then we'll screw in.
He'll stagger them.
Right. So we're going to screw in here. So that's where it'll go. So then you'll just clamp it on your wood. And they secure like a vice grip. And then it clamps down. You can see the clamps here. Okay. Then you take your drill, which is already set. You set your stock here on your collar. There's a guide inside for the Kreg Jig. You set it at 3/4. That way when you screw in, everything is correct. So it's just a matter of doing this right here. That's it. And then you take this off.
The jig comes with 2 holes, but we're only doing 1.
And this is what you'll wind up with. And then they'll all secure with 1.25 inch. You use 1.25 inch pocket screws, and you have to use pocket screws with the square head. That'll go in here 1.25 inch for 3/4 inch stock. And we're going to do this 6 times. So we'll do 3 on this side, 3 on that side, and then we'll glue the edges, push them together, screw everything together, and then support that. So I don't know how much of this you want to video.
I think that's good. We'll go ahead and pause, let you do that, then we'll come back and they'll see how it all came together.
Right, and then we can talk through it. Okay. Sounds good?
Okay, he's got his pocket holes drilled. I just want to show you what I'm talking about. He glues it up. He uses some wood glue, and he does those edges.
I do this so that it spreads out through the whole wood, but it also minimizes the glue coming out on all around the edges.
Yeah, you don't want it squeezing through the front and the back. And he's just going to line that middle piece of wood up, and he's going to drill, and he's going to clamp them together to make sure they don't move. And then he's going to go ahead and put the screws in. And the Kreg people make these clamps and things too. It's a pretty nifty little deal, really. And I like it because for my sign, I'm not leaving a gap in between the boards. A lot of the times when you're making a sign with several pieces of wood like this, you will leave a little, 1/8 of an inch gap or whatever, excuse me, in between the pieces of wood. But we're not going to do that. We're going to put these together as flush as we can to minimize the look of it being 3 pieces of wood. And you can see here, you can kind of see there when he did that, the 2 pieces of wood kind of sucked up together.
If you can, it's always good to use a hammer drill that has the release on it, so that when you get to a certain tightness or a certain torque, that the clutch will let go, so you don't over tighten and screw it all the way through and then mess up your whole project. So now we're going to turn around this way. We're going to bring these together.
And certainly the easiest way to do this would be just to do your 3 pieces of wood, put your little bit of a gap between them, put your little joining 1x2 or whatever in the back to hold them together, and you're good to go. This is just this little extra step that you don't necessarily have to do. So I'm going to go away just a second, let him finish that, and we'll be right back. Okay, now we're ready to put those braces on the back. Just be sure that you've got a part of the brace on all 3 pieces of wood that are back there, and then we're going to take our staple gun and we're going to pop them on there. And he's just making sure at the top there's clearance for the hangers.
That there was clearance. The hangers are 1 inch down from the back, so we're at 2 inches below. And then I've already sized where these need to be, and you may see in the video they're not exactly in and out, but as far as same distance in, because we've done these for our sign to fit how our hangers are going to be. So you'll need to do that for yours as well. So what we're going to do, so make sure that I get these right back in the same spot, is I just make a little mark on the back like this. So that way I know where the edges are going to go. And then we're going to put some glue. And I like using, we don't get any money from these people, but I've used a lot of different glues, and this is really good. It's water resistant, interior, exterior. It sets up really fast, and it's a really good glue. So get it at Lowe's. Just put some glue back here on the back. I'm not worrying about smearing it around. But this will go back down here. We're going to put it right back in the spot that it was. Same thing on this one. And then put it right back in the same spot that it was in, so that we know that it's right in the same measurement. Then we'll come in here.
How big are your staples?
These are 1 inch staples. Actually, it's they're staples that 3/4 of an inch. Remember, that's our thickness of our stock, and it'll give us enough to bite into the bottom wood to pull this together. The glue is really what's holding this together, but that's what this is here. Okay. We'll do the same thing on this side. Make sure it's in there. Okay. Got a misfire there. So that's it right there. And this is what the staples look like if you want to see. That's what I used. They're 1 inch.
Okay. Now we got the whole thing shirred up, and the next step is going to be routing the edges. Is that what we're going to do next?
Yes.
See what you how that turned out, and let us know what kind of a bit did you use again.
Okay, this is a 5/32 Roman OG router bit, and you have a shop back hooked up to the back of it because routers put out an enormous amount of waste, but this helps to suck it up into the shop back underneath the table here and makes for semi-clean workshop. You can see what it does here on the edges, and then this will all be cleaned up where it furred a little bit, feathering with the sander. But it gave a nice clean cut on the edge, nice routed edge. When you route, you go from right to left. Cross grain and in grains you use a little bit harder.
We'll sand all that off though.
Yeah, this will all sand. So this is pretty much it.
But that's, and turn around and show the whole kit and caboodle. Okay, so we have finished the sign. Actually, you can see that I've painted it and everything. I did a tutorial on how I got this nice distressed look. It's another video. I will link it here on to this video, so you'll be able to see how we did it. But I wanted to be sure you saw how everything came out. You see our 3 pieces of wood that we used. I think it was 5.5, 5.5, and 3.5 1-inch white pine stock. The Mean Man used some pocket screws to tighten everything up, so it kind of gives the illusion of 1 piece of wood. Our support pieces are here. I think he ripped a 1x down to 2 inches each. We measured them for our hooks and our hangers. You can see we're outside at our house. I'm going to go ahead and hang this on our signpost so you can see exactly what we had in mind when we built and made the sign. There it goes. I'm going to step back just a second so you can get a look at that. The wind is blowing a little bit here. It's pretty chilly out. Not 25 anymore, but it's about 45, so it's pretty chilly. And so that is, and that post, the side post there too, the Mean Man made that. We are planning a tutorial on that as well. We just have to locate the pictures for that. So I'm going to come back in this shot, Mr. Mean Man. I just want to let y'all know that how much I appreciate you, how excited I am for the new year, for 2018. We've got plans on doing lots more projects, lots more videos. Be sure and go over to undertexassky.com so you can see everything. We're not going to shoot a video for every single project that we do, and there's already tons of projects on undertexassky.com that we did not do videos for. So if you want to see those, you're going to need to go over to the website. Again, I appreciate all my subscribers. I love y'all. Thank you so much for your support over this past year. If you have any questions about how we did this, ask in the comments. I read every comment. I answer every comment. I appreciate y'all so much. I want you to know that I am very much aware that I'm only here because of you guys, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining me for this. As I said, check out undertexassky.com. Subscribe to my channel. We've got lots more stuff coming this year, and it's not going to just be wreaths. Usually I do wreath videos, but we're going to get into more things like this, some home improvement projects. We're real excited for the new year, and we appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate the Mean Man for his help with this video. He doesn't like being on camera, but I think he did a great job. And I just love you guys, and I hope that you have a blessed new year, and will join us again real soon.